The pleasure for the last week, now going into week 2 of interviewing the various nominees for SCV Man and Woman of the Year Awards for 2014. The award ceremony itself will be held at the Hyatt Regency Valencia Friday, May 2nd. And with me this morning is Tim Davis, Executive Director from Bridge to Home. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning.
Congratulations on your nomination.
Well, thank you so much.
And I want to talk to you now. You have been a Santa Clarita resident since 1989.
Yeah, that's correct.
So 25 years. Some people, they're like, okay, you're pre-mall or post-mall. So this is a pre-mall,
well,
actually.
pre-mall, yes.
And you've been married for a little over 30 years.
46 years in June.
46
yeah.
years,
Yeah.
according to your bio. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Bridge to Home. You're the founder of this organization, and this is one of those situations in Santa Clarita that a lot of people don't really want to face, but the homeless population and the homeless issues that we do have here in the Santa Clarita Valley. Tell me a little bit about what motivated you to form this organization.
When I was in the Air Force, I was stationed in Hawaii, and a gentleman came to our church on a Sunday morning and told us about the need to help homeless people on Waikiki, of all places, right? You would never think of that, but it's quite a magnet. It's a nice, gentle way of living. I got involved at that time. That was about 1980, and it's kind of like, I'll just say I got hooked when I retired from the Air Force and came to Santa Clarita in 1989 and started attending church over St. Stephen's Episcopal. A group of us got together that same year, 1989, and said, we do have a homeless population here. What are we going to do about it? And, been working on it ever since.
And tell me a little bit about what Bridge to Home does for homeless families and people in need here in the Santa Clarita Valley.
But we started off just trying to get a winter homeless shelter for people in Santa Clarita. And we've been at that since the winter of 1996, 97. And that program is running well. We have the Santa Clarita shelter. We just closed for our 17th winter. Again, about 50 people a night. All kinds of very good things that the community does to help with that program. A few years back, an LA County agency came to us and asked us if we would also run the shelter in the Silmar National Guard Armory. So we picked up the Silmar shelter, and we just closed for our 7th year with that organization, or that particular function. And then we looked around and said, we're not content with what we say 3 hots and a cot, okay, 3 meals and a bed for the night. We want to do more. Our objective is to get our clients back to what we call independent, sustainable living. So what do you need to do to do that? So we've put together what we call a family assistance program. So a family comes in tonight, and we're going to do this year-round nowadays. Family comes in, immediately we get them in a motel, and we start making connection with state and federal and local and nonprofit organizations to figure out how to get them into some kind of permanent housing. We're doing very well with that right now. We also looked around with Family Promise and other organizations and said, when we have people who have fixed whatever issues are causing their homelessness, they then need to get into affordable housing. There's not much affordable housing in Santa Clarita. So we've started a program called Families to Homes, where we subsidize them into apartments in Santa Clarita. We then looked around and said, what else prevents people from getting jobs or keeping in the workforce? And one of the first ones that we saw that we could do something about was dental issues. So we have a Healthy Lives dental program that twice a month has a free dental clinic for up to 12 clients, where we do cleanings, fillings, and extractions. And a young man came to us one day and said, why aren't you doing dentures? And we said, because we don't know how. And he said, I do, so now we do dentures for our clients. Okay? So every place we can find, we opened a counseling center about a year ago. It's called The Bridge. And there we try to connect people with all kinds of services or benefits, all aimed at solving whatever the issue or issues are that creates the homeless condition and get people back to, as we said, independent, sustainable living.
And that's I like the approach there, like you said, more than just the 3 hots and a cots, and Bridge to Home, truly living up to the name that you have given this organization. Because what we really understand, most of us understand, some of us don't, is that nobody really wants to be homeless, and it's not necessarily something that just they're lazy or don't feel like contributing. It's something that has catastrophically happened in their lives that really just can be temporary, and any type of support system just to kind of get them back on their feet is really all they need. Is that kind of the approach there?
Yeah, we look at it kind of like 3 different groups of people. We have the people we call who are situationally homeless. The landlord wasn't paying the mortgage, and so they ended up being evicted. but they didn't have savings or whatever, so they can't immediately get into another apartment. So we might see them for 2 or 3 weeks. While they stay with us, they don't spend anything on food, they don't spend anything on housing, etc. Let them put that money away in for their security deposit and their first month's rent, and then away they go. So that's a couple of weeks, okay? And we see a lot of those every year. We have others who are chronically homeless. We have several clients we've seen for 8 or 10 years who have serious mental illnesses or drug or alcohol addictions, those kind of things. And, it's going to be years and years, if ever, that they can be helped. We're looking at programs now like we call permanent supportive housing for them, get them off the street because they cost the county and the city a lot of money. And if we could find a way to reduce that and give them a little more dignity rather than living on the street. Then in the middle, there's a great group that we don't have a name for. And it's anything from, a temporary issue or a drug and alcohol issue or a mental issue, something going on that may take a few months or it may take years to find a resolution to it and get them back into the workforce, into a house. So, it's not just a simple somebody's lazy, that does happen. We see that. But, it could be something beyond my control completely, an illness or a job loss or, not my problem that we were evicted, okay? Those kind of things. So we treat each one of them individually and try to figure out, what's the best path forward.
And you were nominated for the SCV Man of the Year award by Bridge to Home. Are you hoping that, should you be able to garner the award, that it'll shed more light and bring more attention to Bridge to Home?
That's my entire intention. As I said, a retired military officer. I've had my moments of awards and glories and those kind of things, and I appreciate it that the city or the people in the community would think highly of me. But the most important thing is get recognition for Bridge to Home. See how we can get more people knowledgeable of what's going on, get more people able to participate, more people just involved with what we're doing.
Outstanding. Tim Davis, congratulations on your nomination, I should say, for SCV Man of the Year. Best of luck to you, and best of luck in your continued success with Bridge to Home, and thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thank you so very much.